Hey, welcome back to yet another video. This is really special. I didn't even really plan this. These two gentlemen here are some of my best friends. I'm proud to say that. So it's an honor to have you guys. I had no idea this was going to happen. We don't see each other a whole ton like we used to. You're hustling and rolling, and you're doing your thing. But we see each other enough, right? We stay in touch enough, and these two guys, I've known Coffee for at least 2 decades or around 2 decades.
Yeah,
we started off playing rock and roll.
Yeah, lots of music. The scene was doing its own thing back, those times. It was very, very interesting times, but it was always cool to be able to run into just, the core people that made that scene. And you were definitely one of them, Cerebro and, all these other bands that existed around that time. I could name a whole bunch, but yeah, definitely.
Yeah, you were representing Leaf.
Yeah, that was a fun time. Those guys were a trip and very into what they were doing, so it was like perfect for me coming straight out of college, like into this whole new Houston that I hadn't seen before because I was away for a few years, and hitting it off with them was just like eye opening and I don't know. Intriguing because they were already set in their ways. They'd already established, rapport with the city and stuff like that. So it was great. That was a lot of fun. That was a blast back in those days.
Yeah, those were really, when I look back, they were weird and interesting. In the context of life, they were formative. We were young, and we were fucking just going. And we had this time, and we had the ability to dive into music and fucking play and write songs and gig and tour and all the things. Yeah. It was amazing. And yeah, I really appreciate that. And what's really interesting, this quick side note, Jason, I used to ride the bus with that guy. Deer Park ISD.
Yep, exactly.
I had to ride the bus to school.
Yeah. So then y'all were in the same neighborhood.
We were in the same neighborhood, but he was somebody that I vibed with. We were actually cool.
Yeah.
Which is a pretty big accomplishment for high school.
Oh, yeah.
And then fast forward 10 years from there, that's when we finally started gigging together and stuff.
Right.
And then I put this...
We were in the same rehearsal space.
Yeah, we had a rehearsal space.
Was it Francisco's?
On the south side by Reliant.
Oh, yeah, Francisco's too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was Francisco's too.
Wow.
Way out there, like off of...
Does that place still exist?
Yes, it does still exist.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. It definitely does still exist. I think about that space a lot because I had so many memories there and so many Houston bands. Obviously we met there, but like so many different Houston bands were doing their thing over there. And man, I drove so far away because I lived in Spring, and that was all the way out there by south side, like way by the stadium. The football stadium was freaking nuts, man. I drove forever, but I didn't care because I had my day job, and after that, I was hauling ass to go to practice.
Use that gray Chevy pickup.
Oh, yeah, exactly. That 2-door Chevy, man, with the sound system. And I had, like, my woofer on the floor. Like, the passenger person couldn't, like, sit up. Yeah, their feet was up like this. But, man, it was booming in my truck. That was fun. But, yeah, man, I drive. I didn't care. I didn't care about driving. I just wanted to do what I loved, which was playing music. I had my day job. I made my money. But afterwards, I'd go and be with the guys, and we would jam and just, create this musical relationship. It was beautiful.
Did you have something like that? Similar story? Are these stories like resonating for you?
Yeah, I'm from California, so it looked different. California's kind of real spread out.
Even more spread out than Houston?
Right. Where I was at, I was in the desert. So,
so that's spread out.
Him driving.
Yeah, I would drive to rehearsal 45 minutes, an hour, almost an hour sometimes. Yeah, just to jam and just to be in that room.
Wow. Yeah,
we play for like 4, 6, 8 hours sometimes.
Yeah, like no other true responsibilities in your life. Not compared to what now. So like, as you get older, you get more responsibilities. That's what getting older is.
Yeah,
and that's why time moves faster because you're thinking about more things.
Agreed.
It's wild. So then, how did we exactly meet? Do you have a story for that?
Yeah, Bobby, the drummer in Angeli Project, at the time.
Yeah.
I'm friends with him, and you needed a guitar player, so you called me up. I showed up.
Yeah.
And I think I played once, and then kind of came on board 2 months later. That was like
Yeah.
kind of full time.
That's cool. Yeah, that was the peak of the working band that I had called the Anjali Project, and we were contracted to do live music for yoga classes. Super cool experience when I look back on it now, because I miss it. That was a part of my life for 8 years, just about 8 years. Very consistent gigging.
That was the thing to do. Like, was it Tuesday nights? It was Tuesday
Yeah, we had a
nights, right?
Tuesday night class together. This
Yeah.
guy, you played.
Well, y'all had Sundays.
You had Sundays too.
I had Tuesday nights. It was nice to be able to be in that location consistently. I thought that was a vibe, a really cool vibe. Met a lot of really great people out there. But
shout out to Big Yoga Houston.
oh, yeah, for sure.
That's so. Then you started basically working with us, and we started jamming the Anjali Project.
Yeah,
and we hit it off.
Oh yeah,
We've had lots of great memories. I feel like I've known you a lifetime.
Yeah, it's only been 3 years.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But it could be a whole nother lifetime.
With 300 years.
Yeah, exactly. Y'all were connected in past lives. Came together in this one musically. I see it.
Sure. Yeah. What's interesting, like what I'm present to right now, is that COVID feels like another lifetime started. Just whatever happened before COVID died. It died.
Oh yeah. Yeah, most definitely. We're having to definitely deal with, for a lot of us, a harsh reality that, not everything lasts forever. And that's actually a really great thing. Keeps things dynamic. I think it's very important to have that within your mindset, to know that things are dynamic. Things do die, but come back to life, and they come back in different forms. I think by having a mindset where you truly understand that within yourself, then you will be in constant refreshment.
Yeah.
Like you will constantly be able to deal with whatever comes at you.
And as a creative, that's so important, to be constantly refreshed and fed like a stream with ideas and life happening. As an artist, for me, I'm an artist of many mediums, and as I appreciate art as well, and I look at other artists in life, and what gives someone the title an artist?
Right.
Because we're all creators.
Right, we're all creators.
And then that's such a beautiful thing to realize, that we're all creators in this human experience. And coming back to the COVID conversation, it is the ending of a chapter, and there is grief there. I had to grieve my old life. I just realized that, maybe 8 months into COVID, and I was feeling some stuff around it, and then I had to grieve my old self.
Yeah.
And then as a man, I had to reborn and like recreate my purpose and what the fuck is it that I'm doing? And I struggled with that for a really long time. And part of this video and part of this content creation is me being rebirthed, just to be really vulnerable and tell you exactly what's going on. This is the third thing that I recorded. And to have this conversation with you guys is really good. We talked about our past, and then what are we doing now? Well, for me, I'm rebirthing from COVID. I'm recreating my purpose. And I don't know if I'll play another yoga class again. I hope I do.
Yeah.
And we had music that we were playing. We had music that we were playing. And I personally miss playing. I need more playing in my life. When I say playing, I don't mean, I don't know, I think it's like with other people. And with other people, and like in front of other people.
Right.
To share the art, to share the creation. Doing it behind the scenes or in a studio is fun, but it's not the same. It doesn't give me the same high.
It's nourishing, is what it is. It's really nourishing, but it's not fulfilling. For me, it's not. When you get to share that and build that context for someone to actually be like, oh,
yeah,
you get to tell that story, not just to yourself, or your bandmates,
Yeah. So I want to hear from you guys what you guys are rebirthing into after I just kind of complete the fact that I want to say this out. I choose to play more music in my life, at least regularly, and I want to play out.
Yeah.
I'm stating that. And so maybe that'll happen through me sharing that.
Yeah.
And I'm not playing a lot right now, and I want to play. I feel like my chops are going down. It's like, okay, hold on.
Yeah.
So I'm putting that out there.
Yeah.
So what has happened since COVID died and came for you in terms of that?
Sure. My death, because I had to grieve me as a musician. I was gigging with Anjali Project. I was with another project, That Devil the Truth. And I had my main band, Small Deal, which we had just released an album. We just had this momentum. And then a week later, we had venues calling us like, "Hey, we want you to play. We want you to play. We want you to play."
Yeah.
Which was our dream because we were calling them like, "Please let us play."
Yeah.
So there's so much action, and I was telling myself like, "Man, I really want to break." I didn't think COVID was gonna hit like it did. That was a break.
Mm-hmm.
But I think my process lasted all the way up until about November, October, where I wasn't doing much. I didn't feel like creating.
Mm-hmm.
It was just hard to get into my own musical connection with myself.
Mm-hmm.
So now that I've kind of gone through with it, now I've written lyrical songs. I've never written lyrics before. Well, that's not true, but I've never committed to it.
Right.
So I'm releasing an album maybe in 2 months with just a singer-songwriter, which feels like a weird hat to wear.
Yeah.
Weird hat.
Oh, that's an awesome hat to wear, man. Like singer-songwriter, you really get to put things together and depend on yourself to like come up with all those things, and it's fun to be in that seat. Be able to create it, put it out there because you can do digital distribution. It's all available on the computer. I think that's a whole nother aspect that COVID kind of really opened up.
Yeah, all online now, which is another thing. Me and Richard, the drummer in Small Deal, we're building a recording studio. We started that in June, and I've never done construction. This is a full professional recording studio that we're building. we're about a month, maybe 2 months from finishing.
Wow.
So it's like all my musical rehearsals and gigging just went into construction work, which is good because now we're going to have such a platform to just...
You're almost finished, yeah. You're going to be able to create
whatever we want, record whatever we want.
At a high level.
Mm-hmm. So that's where I'm at through this whole process.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Wow, that's incredible.
Congratulations.
That's a
I'm
gift.
so excited about checking it out. I don't want to see pictures. I just want to go over there and be like,
Yeah,
it's something.
Cool.
See, that's so cool because it has, for a lot of people, it's just put others in situations where they really have to come up with something else, really learn to trust yourself in the universe and that like you can create in a moment no matter what. And a lot of people get stuck in their ways. They get stuck in like what's comfortable and they don't let themselves be able to be in that mindset to create, because really what happens is that all of your situations are nothing but creative possibilities every single moment in time.
We're always creating.
You're always creating. You always have that opportunity. You're abundant in times to create. All you have to do is just make the decision. All right. So COVID helps people be placed in that with some kind of comfort, I guess, because it makes them feel good knowing that, oh wait, I've lost this, but I can gain this. And that's really important. That's for me. Like, ever since COVID started, COVID freaked me out because I knew that the way I've been making money is no longer gonna happen. I can't play. I can't perform. I can't go out there. Yeah, it's not there. The festivals, the large festivals aren't there. The high dollar amounts that bands were being offered to be paid, they're not there like that anymore. It does not exist like that, or at least not for now. And so with that being said, I've had to really come to understand what it is am I going to do with music that I'm still going to be able to put out there to the masses. The way I did that was through digital distribution. That's the way it's been for a while, but just diving more heavily into that, as well as getting placements onto commercials, video games, movies, etc. Those kinds of things put yourself in an even broader position to be able to get your music heard, seen, etc. The digital platform, which is the reason why we're all sitting here right now talking in front of the camera, is to bring those kinds of things up. And that's really what I focused on. I focused on just making sure that, okay, I've done all these performances. I wish it was still going. We had a whole year planned out, like this incredible stuff. But now we get to focus on putting out music, distributing music, and possibly getting placements, which is a massive thing for an artist. It means another possible form of income, revenue, and exposure. I mean, imagine getting it put into a video game or into a movie, those kinds of things. And it's a whole new level of connection, but it's one that is there. And it's right in front of you, and it's there for the taking as long as you take advantage of it. And so that's what we've been doing. We've been releasing music. I've been creating. I've been trying to put together different projects and all this stuff. I've only released one thing, but I have a ton of things being made that's going to be ready to be put out. Just bam, 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 bam. Bi-weekly if I want to, or monthly. Maybe put out an EP that way so that people get hurt or people hear it and know that it exists. It can be heard around the world. That's so crazy. Just through the online platforms.
Yeah.
And so COVID has done a great many things, and it's opened up my world to that.
Word.
For sure.
Yeah. So I had a statement. I had a claim. What are you claiming?
For the new?
For the new.
Mm-hmm.
For this year? For the new, yeah. What's your claim?
My claim is vulnerability. That's what I've always been scared of.
Yeah.
This whole singer-songwriter thing, my voice,
Diving right into it.
it's not good enough. I don't want to commit. People aren't going to like it. So now it's like, okay, it's vulnerability. How can I actually put myself out there?
Right.
So I claim vulnerability.
Okay. What do you claim?
Acceptance. As much as I am someone who constantly thinks about creating to make things happen, I still have a heavy part deep within my spine, my soul, that can't accept what's happening. And it's been a constant fight and struggle with that continuously, because I've worked years to build up an actual career with the thing that I love, where I could pay my rent, I could pay my bills, and have my music be out there, with that. And I finally got it, and it was getting better. And then it gets swiped out from under you. That's been a hard thing to accept. But if I continue to just practice accepting it, and continue to push with action to create more ripple effects, then that puts me in a better position to succeed. So acceptance is my thing. That's my weakness, and I'm just going to continue fighting.
Beautiful. It's a good fight worth fighting.
Oh, yeah, I love it. Mm-hmm.
That's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I want to state mine, refine mine just a little bit from the reflection of this in this context. I had stated earlier that I want to play out more. I think my claim is to be seen. That's the thing that I'm shying away from and have shied away from. So I choose to be seen as a form of being accepted, as a form of being vulnerable, right? As a form of being a creator. Because just like I really love your approach, create content. That's why Google, the company, is so successful. YouTube, props to them, man. They figured that shit out.
All right.
Facebook's a media company, Instagram's a media company, TikTok's a media company. So if we're creating content, then we're a part of that flow. And what are you going to create content that's worth watching? Something that's true and vulnerable and you. And man, I'm really grateful to be in this space of being courageous to show up and talk about these things and share vulnerably from our heart. So I choose to be seen. You choose to be vulnerable. You choose to be accepted. And together we thrive.
That's great.
Those are great. Those are 3 really massive things right there. That's really cool. That's kind of cool to kind of open it up and put it out there in view to understand, because I'm sure we all need a little bit of all of that.
You guys need
at least, But it's nice to be able to just put it up on the vision board and understand oh yeah, yes. These are the things it takes to succeed.
Yeah.
You know, that we need each other, and you know, we can't just be constantly within ourselves. We have to be open-hearted and to communicate these kinds of things to each other so that we can better understand and realize.
Yeah.
I'm doing a visioning exercise with the coach tonight. That's free if you guys are interested.
Oh, beautiful.
So
Nice.
I'll put that I'll send that to you. Thanks again, you guys, for letting us be here. This has been really beautiful. Thank you for witnessing and holding space for us to be vulnerable and for us to share and for us to be seen and heard and accepted and to create. And that's what we're up to. So thank you again. Please share this, like this, subscribe this with all the people that we're involved with. We're grateful. We're doing this to connect with you. In an era of social distancing, what returns from that is secure intimacy. Secure intimacy. And I love you guys. Thank you for being my brothers, so I can be securely and intimately with you.
Likewise.
Namaste.
Namaste.